Hello there everyone, this is iMark3 and welcome back to Derelict Void. We're about halfway to the goal I've stated as my setting myself for this series, which is 222 people out of I want at least 400. It's all pretty good. And I've just been taking a quick look around, seeing if I can figure out what the heck I'm doing. So the one I've locked down, that is, I'm happy with that as it is, as it came to us actually. It's not a very adaptable hull, but it houses a lot of people for its size, especially for a really light one, a compact class. So 50 tons for 60 people and 30 happiness, that is great. I actually did a little bit of numbering, and 120, 180, 240. So yeah, we have 340 people in this section of the ship we've got right now. 340 people, that's great. We don't need much more in terms of living space to achieve the goal, at the very least. Atlas is currently configured exactly how I want it for the time being, so not much else to be done there. Orion 8 is doing what I've asked it to, it's not very well optimized, and it's only giving a hydroponic plant a boost in there, so that's okay. However, there's no optimization on Oberon and Apollo, so these two need to be sorted out because they are a permanent fixture of the hull. There's also Investiture, which we're ditching, and Osprey. Not looking too hopeful for Osprey, honestly, but it might be worth trying to hang on to as well. But for now, there are some things I can do. I can take this hospital part there and fix up this extra hospital we've got currently sitting in Oberon. But ideally what we need to do is like try and, you know, move some parts around, fix things, you know? Organise these two hulls. We can condense that, get an extra water treatment plant operating as well, so let's do that. Carbon scrubbers, in particular carbon scrubbers kind of need to be sorted out, and so does wastewater treatment, because as our crew goes up, we need more of that going on, flat out. And while I hate to say it, Investiture is a bad hull in terms of performance, and I don't want to hang on to it on those grounds. It's like, it's actually a really useful hull because it's empty space. So what makes it bad makes it potentially useful for the immediate future. So I'm not going to quite ditch it straight off the bat, shall we say. The empty space can be used to more easily organise and shuffle around the parts to get Apollo and Oberon organised. And it looks like Osprey will have a good bit of empty space in there as well, actually, so not entirely sure about that one. But yeah, anyway, we're going to see how that goes. Also, we're low on carbon, so yeah, this is one of the reasons we need to get the carbon scrubbers working. That is a 2 out of 3 park. 2 out of 3 park. If anything though, ooh, Osprey 80. Mostly empty. Potentially a luxury accommodation, but it has a ton of empty space to let us shuffle things around as well. What could I potentially do with this one? This is liquid and gas storage combined. Will help the CO2 scrubber a bit, so this Osprey actually has a lot of potential as a permanent part. For now, I will attach it over there, and it's not going to be industrial. We can get some stuff working in it, yes, but not a lot. Not a lot. But the gas and liquid storage. This thing ideally needs a gas, liquid, and solid. Sorry. Yeah, solid. So yeah, can't quite jam a water treatment plant in there. I am thinking, me brain thinky thing. Leave me alone. I'm trying to process things. Anyway, yeah. So liquid and a gas. That's not that useful actually. Liquid and gas. There's only a few things that might be able to use it. Because most things benefit from having solid as well, and not much requires only a single input type. I mean, temporarily, let's throw a functional CO2 scrubber into there. That'll benefit from the gas where it couldn't before. But that needs a gas and a solid because it's outputting carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen. So yeah, ideally you want to plug those into biooxidizers. Yeah, investiture I'm actually going to ditch you flat out straight away, because I'm actually going to shift all your parts across into here. And anywhere else I can jam them, really, just because I want to get rid of you. So I'll jam the parts into Apollo for now. I say I want to organise it here. I'm going to throw more stuff, random stuff into it. Yeah, that's basically what's going on. I'm just going to jam those into there because investiture, I can ditch you, free up 70 tons. Bye-bye. And try and get this stuff working a bit better. Okay, hopefully that big crew will be of use to us. Another crew argument. Told me they lost hope of getting out alive. It appears to be growing common around our spacecraft. We need to hold on for hope. So yeah, people are not very happy about things. But anyway, let's think. What do we want to do? I want this Oberon, but Apollo especially because it's such a big population amount. I want to get a park into here. If I want to get the park into here, I want to get the hydroponics out of there. So I'll pull the hydroponics. It's got a ton of hospitals in there right now, but that wastewater treatment is working, but it's like not very good. I said it's a water solid, but this doesn't offer a water solid connection. So not any industry I'm putting there is not going to be super effective, shall we say. So let's shuffle that out to there. And I want to get a park into it. But yeah, between Apollo and Osprey, we've basically got our some crew needs. Okay, let's dock the hull. It is... Ooh, look at that. It's a big industrial. I'll attach it to the side over there. Dock. No matter how it turns out, odds are we're going to keep it. But we're going to start doing that. There's so many hospitals in there, jeez. But I want to try and maybe start considering Orion 8 as one I want to clear out. But I want to get... I think I'm going to have to pull that park from in here. And I'm going to have to try and jam some industrial things into there as well. A liquid would boost the water treatment plant a bit. But there's not... the positioning of some of the stuff in Apollo is kind of awkward. It's not ideal. Anyway, moving on. Right, intel for oxygen, intel for water, container with food, frozen asteroid with water. Let's go for the intel, it's the closest one. We'll have to burn the least stuff to get to it. Spend a 12-hour burn. Add those two. Confirm, off we go. And a warehouse. We're doing pretty darn well. Ooh. Biooxidizer. The thing we don't have much of. Also a fully functional park. Okay. Sure. Me brainy worky thing. Ton of oxygen. And, you know, let's actually start trying to gather things a little bit. Military station, with which will help with important, or we can get for a drifting shuttle. We could always hope for people, but we do need people. Let's actually start gathering the clues, though. Military station. Actually, how far away is it? 116 versus 86. No, let's keep holding off on that. Some crew members sustain injury during routine operations. Need them to work. We can force them to work, but it'll be a morale thing, I think. But we're fine for losing a crew for 12 hours. We don't need a crew right this second. So I'll be okay with that. The park, though. I kind of want to try and jam some industrial equipment into here, but it's just so awkward. It's just so awkward. Biooxidizer part, though, we want that. If we could get it functioning, that is. Which we cannot just yet because it's incomplete. Biooxidizer parts needs oxygen organics. Nope, it wouldn't really fit well in Apollo either. Apollo, you are an Ugly Duckling, we do not know how you fit into the rest of the plan, so we're going to have to accept that you are what you are, and move on from there. But that's it. The Protagoras has a lot of random junk in it, doesn't it? Very, very interesting, that. Anyway, let's move the park out of there. And I guess jam it into there. And I guess let's... Can I rejig you to get a hospital into you? Maybe. Can I rejig you to get a hospital into you? Again, maybe, but the thing is you're so good with your food synths. I don't really want to mess with the Atlas. I think maybe what's driven me up a bit is the awkward shape of the hydroponics. More than anything else. Go ahead. Storage. Food. Yep. Food is actually getting kind of ticklish. We do need to try and get more food. Presents. Yeah, somehow some people survived. Oh, 2 pop. Cool. Right. Need food though. Container. Asteroid. Oh, distress signal. Go. Go, 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 go. And let's actually start to accelerate ourselves, I think. We do need to try and do something with that. Throw 56 hours worth of hydrogen into there. No. Mind you, we've got 19 days worth of hydrogen. I was going to go, let's start trying to speed up a little bit, but no, we don't want to burn that much, because especially since our weight is increasing, so... Let's go 12 hours. Confirm. Try to figure out what I want to do. I mean, we've got Protagoras. It holds a small number of people. Mostly it's got contacts and things around. It doesn't have a... Oh, it does have a good spot for liquids. Actually, that's potentially useful. Right. Protagoras. I'm moving your water treatment plant up there. I'm going to move your Biooxidizer to... there? There, yeah. Okay, right, good. I'm going to ship these carbon scrubbers out because they can now connect to... Well, both of them connect to warehouses and they both have gas input. So that's a boost. That's a boost. They produce... let me double check my figures really quick. Oxygen carbon, which goes into that. So oxygen will go into the Biooxidizer. The Biooxidizer placed here will not have access to a solid input, so it won't be the most efficient, but it does have a gas input connection. Mischief, again, the voice of positivity. Mischief, you keep being you. Okay, so that is now all operational, and look at that boost. Carbon up, organics up. Wastewater and CO2 are still going up. Food intake is still an issue, but these guys are now operating at 200%. And they can feed into this Biooxidizer, but the problem is I don't have the parts for it. Okay, that's a big increase. Okay, that is useful. Very, very useful. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Maybe I should slow the game speed down so I can keep moving while I think about this stuff. I don't know. Anyway. You have extra bits. You are okay. You're locked in. You're semi-locked in? I want to readjust your industrial a bit more. You've also got an extra hospital, which is not that great. I did pull a thing out of the Atlas, which actually reduced my calorie synth efficiency. I just said, I don't want to mess with the Atlas. Next thing, I mess with the Atlas. Right, I'm going to move that one into there. So the Atlas is back to its former standards. Just because it's going to stay like that. So I don't want to move anything out of the Atlas. At all. It's this dang lack of parts. There's no good industrial connections in here though, really, so that's one of the other issues going on. The gas storage could be used to... So actually that arrangement of twin gas into that could be replicated in here. if I move the functioning hospital over to there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move it all back. I just don't know a good place to put the water treatment plant. Is there any way I can jam in the hospital into one of my other holes? I'm running short on space. I'll jam the hospital into there. I need to jam the water treatment plant into somewhere. That'll just about fit into there. Cool. Okay. So let's once again shuffle it all back. Let's get. You're getting benefit from being next to a gas storage, actually. Maybe I shouldn't. Actually, no. It outputs water. It'll get benefit from being attached to a water plant as well. So let's shuffle it. Carbon. Carbon. You get benefits from both of those and the water, so you can go there. And ooh, is that potential? That is potential. Maybe. It's next to a solid storage. The carbons output oxygen, carbon. This thing produces water. Maybe? Water, hydrogen, CO2. No, it doesn't. It'll get access to an incoming carbon. The output in water and organics. The organics will go to the Biooxidizer, actually. So yeah, that is a benefit. Okay. Right. Noted. So this one's at 200%, right? If I was to shuffle into here, though, that would lock down the Oberon. They're safe. Bring them on. Another 2 population. I wish I was getting more population. Jeez. Okay, so I need to go and get a new unregistered hull. This hull is producing strange lensing effects. A drifting cruise hull or a drifting junction. We don't need a cruise hull. Junction, not really tempting. Unregistered. Probably going to be a small hull, but it's also a piece of story progression. So let's go ahead and burn towards that. Add 5 hours of my hydrogen supply. Sure. We really need food. Incoming shuttle. Yep. Save them. That's our main source of population right now, unfortunately. The random event giving us a shuttle, because it seems to be more reliable. Even though it's random. Experimental facility. Docket. It is a... Oh, yes! Big one. It is a big hull. That's great. I need a big hull. Can I move you up front there? Yes, I can. Okay, I'll just attach you to the front. Patorgus, I'll attach you over there. So now we have a bit of a streamlined ship going on. Still looks like a bit like a connection of random containers bolted to each other, but hey, it works. And we'll start exploration of the new ship. I want the carbon warning to go away, pretty please, but we just don't have enough operational scrubbers. You are operating at 1 on 80, so you're a slight reduction in the efficiency of that thing. But this thing, if we could get it working, would benefit from that. So this thing is, yeah. It benefits a bit better, it seems, from having a water connection, because it's got 2 water things versus 2 organic things. I don't know. But hey, it's doing something. This thing's running at 150, though. But yeah. Oberon, I think, is locked down. We just need the extra parts to get the Biooxidizer operational. Okay, now then, you're a 150% rated water treatment plant. You do have park and medicine. Let's shuffle the other medical facilities out because we just don't want them there right now. And of course, we've got Osprey, which we don't know what the hell to do with either. So, gotta work this out. Sustained injury. Sure, go ahead and have a rest. That's fine. Are we moving? We are not. Right. An abandoned hull, or drifting hull, or container with food. We need to get our food levels up. We are salvaging something right now, so I am okay with running to the food cache, or cache, or however the hell you want to pronounce it. 27 hours of my hydrogen supply. It is actually slowly dwindling that. Organics is going up though. Confirm. I need to get my carbon doing better. I don't have any of my crews available there. Yeah, I'm going to have to boost the CO2 scrubber, I think. This one, because it's running at 220%. But I need to get my carbon input up so that it stops doing that. And unfortunately, while everything is being explored, that's not going to happen. So let it keep doing that. Functional datapad found in the... yeah. So this is the story progression now. A functional datapad was found among the debris. It contains a record of experimental work using something called a void engine to manipulate space. This series of experiments involved bending space right up to the threshold where wormhole-like behaviour would be produced. Something went wildly wrong with the final experimental conditions, and this module was suddenly accelerated at around 40 Gs for a few moments, killing everyone on board. Most interesting is that the timestamps for this experiment line up with when the event occurred. Between backtracking this module's previous trajectory and some examples of how these black site labs were communicating, we should be able to detect other related modules. So that's the first link back to the event and the Void Engine experiment, which ties to the event in its whole. I mean, look. Voyager is so empty. Container, 50 food. That's pretty nice, but we need to get more food go. More importantly though, I need to get that CO2 scrubber operation increase. So I do that, suddenly it's increasing. It only takes CO2, which is still increasing, but we've tied up an additional work crew, so we're down to basically 3 crews again if we keep things running as they are. I mean, if we take that off there... actually, we don't need to keep the crew on the Biooxidizer, as it turns out. It'll greatly reduce our hydrogen supply, but our oxygen supply will double. You know what? To keep access to the hydrogen, because we are using hydrogen to support a bunch of our burns right now, it'll be good to keep it just for that. Also, Voyager. Wow, what an unimpressive big hull you are. Voyager, why are you doing this to me? I loved your Star Trek incarnation, but this Voyager hull is absolutely rubbish. I could set this thing up. The only benefit it's got is it'll be relatively easy to set up with hydroponics parts in it, because it just doesn't... It's so unassuming, it doesn't really penalise anything, but I would have to bolster the hydroponics by bolting in other stuff around it. That's the only benefit it gives. It's like so easy to mess around with it. Do I want to try and do that? I mean, water and organics. This thing also needs CO2, so ideally I want a CO2 scrubber, but there's no gas input. And there's nothing else that produces it. So if this thing had a gas input, it would be great. I could very least bolt in some CO2 scrubbers and try to mesh things in that way. But Voyager, I hate to say it, Voyager, I think that you might be a big hull that I actually want to get rid of, just to free up your cargo mass, because like, you even house only like 20 population, you've got a single warehouse in you. You've got tons of space, which is great, but there's nothing else. There's no bonuses to it. There's no benefits. I can't see a reason to hang on to Voyager. And that makes me sad. There's just no reason at all. All Voyager would do is let me shuffle around parts with ease. Actually, you know what? Hell with it. I'm keeping Voyager. Yeah, there we go. Hell with it. I am keeping Voyager. I need to start getting some more stuff. Food is still really problematic. Let's go ahead and keep searching for parts. We need more parts as much as we can. I will burn a little bit of hydrogen, I guess, because we still have plenty of that. I'll keep Voyager just because we can... The survivors we picked up on Damaged Cruise Line have been stirring the discussion, demanding to be first in line for food, better housing in general. Ooh. Okay, that goes back. You remember that cruise hull we got with the cruise line with lots of rich people? They are trying to enact privilege. So yeah, class clashes, -20. We're fine. We have plenty of things so we can survive that, but basically they're getting a bit uppity and trying to demand privilege. So yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? I want to try and get Oberon installed. Civilian message marked from the gateway marked high priority. Attention fellow survivors, there has been an incident. A dispute with an inbound ship ended dramatically. The official story is the ship was destroyed by gate authorities when they failed to respond to commands to hold distance. Rumours are abound that the ship was destroyed because it lacked any significant supplies, and that there are forces in government that are in a panic over the progress of repairs to the station itself. Oh dear. Therefore be warned, station is currently not a safe haven. Do your best to link up with other survivors. We are months away in any case. However, this message, fingers crossed, this message will encourage shuttles to say, ooh, there's this big ship wandering around out here. We can't head towards the gate station. Let's see if we can hook up with them. So, hopefully this will cause an explosion in our population gain. That would be very, very welcome. Because we are still a good way off the target for this particular playthrough. Still, I need to try and get Apollo sorted out. Maybe I should try and jam a calorie synth in there, honestly. Except that it doesn't fit with the water treatment. Oh, these holes. RNGesus is not smiling favourably upon me. Not right now. I mean, it'd be great to have this next to that water treatment. Hydroponics, but the problem is that this residential block is in the way. And I can't move it. So, yeah. There is a solid warehouse there, which... Water mechanics. So there is a solid warehouse there, but it's not really a direct tie to anything in terms of industry, so I'm struggling to figure out what to jam into there. And the thing is, of course, Osprey is a permanent fixture of the ship, as is the One. So this line is permanent, this one's a permanent, this one's pretty much a permanent, this one's... I've not managed to sort out the Protagoras at all. Actually, maybe I should look at Protagoras. Solid gas... Sorry, gas and liquid could be connected up straight away. Couldn't connect them directly to each other. Is that solid gas and liquid? That is a solid gas and liquid. Ooh! Protagoras, you've been holding out on me. I think I could bolt a hydroponics into you. With decent effect, because it could attach to all 3 base resource types. Okay, right, let's start shuffling. Voyager, you're getting you're living up. You're on call. You're giving me function as I shuffle a whole bunch of spare parts into you. Where's the hydroponics I jammed in? There's hydroponics I jammed in. If I put it there, it will connect to all 3 resource types straight up. We have a low efficiency carbon scrubber, which I will attach up here for more effects. And then this one, this one will be kind of connect to a solid and liquid like that, which will also feed into the hydroponics, so that will be good. So I've shuffled that into a slightly more useful position over here. Unfortunately, I've got to wait for the work crews to catch up with my demands, so yeah, but I have cleared out Orion 8, so that is available for repurposing. It's amazing what happens when you suddenly spot something that might be of use. It's like, suddenly progress. Drifting hull, final approach. It is tiny. I'll bolt it onto my side over there. And the Archon. Okay, let's go ahead and search the Archon. Maybe it'll actually be useful. A heavy hull. Or a rad lab station. Or a drifting junction. The heavy hull's going to be a big one. It's probably going to be kind of heavy though, as the name implies. So, more space. More space would be useful. Let's see if I burn up that and that. Organics, we don't have enough. We need to submit hydrogen. 93 hours if we go at that burn rate. 73, 57 hours worth if we go at our least velocity for the most efficient burn. That is gonna hurt. 57 hours, ouch. That is what, about 2-3 days? It's gonna have to be. Okay. For the heavy hull. If we keep the heavy hull, will depend on the situation we find in there, though. But in the meantime, you know, I'm pleased to be starting to make progress in shuffling things around again. But that is it for now. We are making progress. We are still here. But this is Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and I'll catch you all some other time. See you all later as we fly off into the void. That's one of the things that drew me to this game. It actually has some decent graphics for what it is.